Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the newest edition of the Bronx Muchachos podcast, brought to you by the Baseball Banter Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Mark, and tonight it's got my main man here, Dave. Dave, what's good, brother?
Not much. Glad to be back after my absence, but things are getting better. So here I am.
There you go.
And for those of you watching tonight on YouTube, don't forget to do us a favor: hit that like and subscribe button, and hit the bell for post notifications and when we drop new content, so you'll be informed. Because knowledge is power.
Yes, and for those who are listening, please, if you know where to catch us all: Apple, Spotify, any of those networks right there. YouTube's got us on there too, not only on the video platform but on the audio side as well. Amazon, we're everywhere. So hit the reminders on all those places. Subscribe to us there. All right, boys, let's get into it. Dave, Yankees have been. It's been you kind of look like you're getting up from your slumber. I was out for a few weeks as well. Had a few things going on myself, and guess since the first time the two of us are back together, guess what? Yankees have not done anything. They've done a lot of this. They've been doing a lot of talking.
Are we really shocked though? Like, honestly, are we really shocked by this? Because I'm not anymore.
Actually, I will say this: beginning of this week, I was shocked that something didn't happen because of too many things going on. So let's get into it for a second here. Starting from the end of last week to the beginning of this week, there was a lot of the Cody Bellinger rumors. They offered him a contract, I think, last Friday. It wasn't enough. They offered him even more money and more years. I believe that's what it came down to. I think they upped it to 5 years, about $150, $160 million, something in and around that neighborhood from the reports that were being said. Coupled with that, then they had the Edward Cabrera talks that were going on. I thought that at that point, when you had those talks together combined, I thought that there was that Cody Bellinger's signing was going to be imminent, because you're not going to make a trade for Edward Cabrera without having Cody Bellinger on board. And to make that deal, either Dominguez or Jones was going to go in going down to Miami for Cabrera. Now, it's Thursday night. We all know that Edward Cabrera is not going to be a New York Yankee. He's with the Chicago Cubs. And Cody Bellinger is still sitting out somewhere, probably in LA or Arizona, just chilling. No contract signed. So, with that said, what's up? What's going on? Dave, take it away with what the holdup is, or what you think the holdup is.
I'm just annoyed, man. I'm fed up with being fed up. Here we are, January 8th, and the only thing we've done is hand out a minor league deal with an invite to spring training to Paul DeJong. Signed another handful of minor league dudes, unproven minor league dudes at that, and claimed a Rule 5 draftee for the first time in 14 years, and re-signing Trent Grisham for $22.5 million. That's it. That's all we've done. Like, this is literally the team you're going to roll into spring training with? A bunch of never was's and a reclamation project short infielder? And now you're hearing rumors about possibly Bo Bichette signing with the Philadelphia Phillies because he's got a great relationship with Don Mattingly? Come on, man. This is not the Yankee way, dude. Like, you're not getting Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Anthony Volpe until mid-season, May at the earliest. I consider May.
You really threw Anthony Volpe in that group,
like mid-season.
You really threw Anthony Volpe in that group like someone.
You have to. I mean, he's not going anywhere. I mean,
where the
hell's he gonna go?
No, I mean as a difference maker.
I'm gonna say, like, dude, I'd rather have Anthony Volpe than Paul DeJong. I mean, would you rather the other alternative?
Well, the alternative right now is Jose Caballero,
and I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with Oswaldo Cabrera too. It's mind-boggling to me. I know we're staring at a lockout in possibly 2027, but you don't see that deterring the other teams. You don't see the Blue Jays being stopped by it. You don't see the Cubs being stopped by it, or like all these other teams that are signing players left and right. The Orioles, you don't see them stopping them. But it's just like Hal's like scared to sign anybody because God forbid he might have to shell out some money. Oh, boo-hoo. Like, come on, man. This is stupid. I'm telling you right now, bro, if they don't do anything, and I'm saying this as optimistic as I can, we are a 75 win team on paper right now. Without Cody, we are a 75 win team on paper. That puts us in 5th place in the AL East. That's trash. That's absolute garbage. This needs to stop. I don't know like what else to say to this, but it's just absolute insanity.
I think that once the Yankees offseason is contingent and hinging all on Cody Bellinger. And once he signs and they trot him out there saying, look at the big signing we just did here, which is just them running it back, is not changing the team whatsoever, not improving the team, to be honest with you. They'll make some other deals. They'll make some trades. There's people out there that are in the fire. I don't want to hear about, a Mackenzie Gore coming across. We don't need another left-handed pitcher in that sense. Mackenzie Gore is in the same ilk as Edward Cabrera, to be honest with you. He's a 3-4 type of guy. I'd rather not have. I'd rather, if they're going to make the moves, to make some real moves. And you could do that. I mean, they still could make a deal with the Marlins. You do have Sandy Alcantara down there that is available, and the Marlins are dealing from strengths in pitching.
Bro, I'm all done talking to the Marlins. Talking to the Marlins is like talking to a brick wall. How many deals in the last 3 years have we apparently had done with the Marlins? Pablo Lopez. Sandy was a rumor last trade deadline that never materialized.
Yeah, but then Edward Cabrera was one as well.
Yeah, but we just didn't have the prospect package that they wanted. Okay, fine. No, I get it.
It wasn't a prospect package. Sandy's value wasn't there, and you couldn't get a lot for him.
No, I'm talking about Cabrera. What we were talking about yesterday.
Oh, yeah, well, Cabrera's package, the Cubs offered a little bit better. I mean, when you're starting off with the 41st prospect in all of baseball, that's better than a Spencer Jones. And
I agree.
And the idea is also that the Marlins wanted the Miami boy. They wanted George Lombard Jr. and Yankees aren't partnering with him.
Bro, the only person I'm giving up GLJ for is Paul Skeens. I would trade the farm tomorrow. Jones, Dominguez, Ben Hess, Bryce Cunningham, and GLJ. Like today, I would do that trade. But we all know that Skeens is going to hit free agency and get paid probably $500 million. Probably is going to be the first $500 million pitcher in our lifetime.
Anything's possible at that point. But it's all. But that doesn't matter because it all, like I said, it all revolves around Cody Bellinger. It all revolves around Hal's inability to spend. And as I said before, he doesn't like to finish the job. But right now, everything is in the hands of Cody Bellinger. That will be a slow burn until he gets to where he's going to go. And who knows? Maybe there's going to be a team. Maybe the Mets are going to turn around and say, we're going to give you 8 for what? 240. Something stupid. That's 8 for 240. 8 for 240 is $30 million a year right there.
The one sleeper team that we haven't talked about, and it's not like they've been linked to him by any means, but the Red Sox have been hot and heavy wanting to trade Jarren Duran. If they were to sign Cody Bellinger, they could offload Duran. And I'm telling you right now, Cody's left-handed swing with the pesky pole in Fenway Park would play very nice. Boston. But the problem that comes down to there is they already got too many outfielders in there. You're going to spend that much money on an outfielder when you got Roman Anthony, when you got Sedano, whatever the hell that Rafael Don. Yeah. They just traded the password to Pittsburgh,
and they got another outfielder, and then
Tyler Abreu.
Yeah, they got plenty of outfielders to go around. What they need is a first baseman. I mean, I don't think the Red Sox are going into the Cody Bellinger business. Right now, the Red Sox are in the. Come back with Alex Bregman business. So they're not looking down that road. They already got a first baseman. They're gonna get Bregman. They're gonna run it back that way, and then help and hopeful that Roman Anthony matures another year. They got Marcelo Meyer, who I've never been high on him, but they got him. Hopefully he moves forward for them. They got a lot of youngsters. They're gonna run with the youngsters.
Yeah.
And then they'll make a run at Tarek Skubal next offseason. They'll have the money for that, just like the Mets will try to make a run at him next offseason too. But right now, Yankees,
if there is an offseason next year.
that's point number 2, which kind of everything kind of comes back around again for the fact of, hey, the Yankees are making all these moves or have these things going on because there is the lockout on its way. And Hal sits on a committee and knows what the owners are going to be pushing for. And one of the things they're pushing for, we've talked about it ad nauseum, is the salary cap. And if Hal's making these moves now, a year before, that means they're really pushing for a salary cap next year. He hit more than 200. Well, Lombard hit more than 200 in Double-A, and he's developing more power.
He's still young. He's only 22 years old.
He's younger than that.
Is he?
Yes.
Thought he was 21, 22 years old.
No, I think he's turning 21.
Oh, yeah, he's got time.
He's got plenty of time. He's in Double-A. I mean, he's good to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. The Yankees are high on him. They're giving him they could be giving him the kiss of the Volpe kiss of death, which would be that he's untouchable.
Well,
but that's neither here nor there. Problem comes down to is that Hal wants to make sure that they are set financially for the post lockout, the post CBA, whatever happens, which is going to be a fight for this idiotic move of a salary cap. Just because other leagues have it, the owners want that to curb their spending because they're seeing. Listen, when you have past 2 seasons, except this offseason, the two off seasons before, you had 2 set $100 million deals come on the table. When you see things like that, owners get scared. So
I mean, I don't know if Soto has any deferred money, but what brings me back to the Dodgers. Like, everyone complains about the Dodgers. The Dodgers are exploiting a loophole that is not illegal by MLB rules. There's nothing in the CBA or anywhere else that says you cannot defer money, and that is how the Dodgers are doing what they're doing. These smaller market teams could easily exploit this if they wanted to. They are just choosing not to because they're too busy mooching off the Mets, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Blue Jays, all these teams that spend money and that contribute to the luxury tax. So why are you going to spend your own money when you're getting fed from the fat cats in the league?
Well, that should be worked on first and foremost. That
I agree.
If the owners are getting, if you're one of these teams that are getting luxury tax money, if you're not putting it back into your team, then you don't get luxury. Then you don't get luxury tax money. If you're a low rate
draft picks,
once they actually realize what they're doing with draft picks as opposed to.
I actually looked at a trade. I forget who it was with, but the receiving team traded their 33rd comp round B draft pick.
Yeah,
in the deal. I was like, we can do that now?
Yeah. You can
turn into the NFL with trading draft picks.
You can trade competitive balanced picks. You cannot trade like regular.
But that's the first time I had seen it. I was like, when did this become a thing?
They've been doing that. They've been doing that for a few seasons. But you can't trade the number one draft like a first round draft pick. You can't trade like a 5th round draft pick.
Wish you could. It'd make things a lot easier.
It would set everything off differently. Maybe they should be fighting for that instead of salary caps.
Or like Rob Manfred was talking about today on WFAN about NBAing the MLB with an in-season tournament. Like, bro, just stop. Do not NBA my MLB. Like, I'm all set with this nonsense and a split season kind of. I didn't even watch the whole video. My brain just hurt when I heard in-season tournament. I'm like, it's called the All-Star Game. In case you've been sleeping there, Rob, we don't need another mid-season
tell me you don't like baseball without telling me you don't like baseball.
You got the WBC happening this year. Then you got the All-Star Game. Like, where's the time? There is no time for this nonsense.
And mind you, I'm sure that all the owners would love this, especially when they don't have enough pitching to begin with throughout the season.
Yeah, like,
and then they're gonna throw their starters in there and do all this, and then watch their starters' elbows get blown up.
Listen, there's enough guys blowing out elbows in spring training and when the season starts that they don't need this nonsense of a headache. They just don't. It's bad for the sport. I don't agree with it. I don't want to see it happen. Hopefully he can take this idea along with his golden at bat rule and cram it where, because just stop. You've already messed with the sport enough as it is. Just leave it the hell alone.
Well, I don't mind changes if it's productive. I think the changes he's done are some of them are stupid. Like the stupid ghost runner needs to go away. That's still the dumbest thing in the world. I like
the reliever having to face 3 batters. I'd love to see that go away. I'd love to see.
No, I like that. I like that one.
I don't know.
I like that one a lot because it's
left-handed specialist thing. I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what comes down to is it's part of pace of play, and you turn around and you get rid of a lefty specialist, but you teach the lefty specialist to get other people out. It works well because all of a sudden, how many times you're going to stop? Let's go to the mound. Let's substitute this person. Let's substitute that person. Changing up every time, doing the matchups. No, it makes the managers actually have to think about things going forward. I mean, it's really dumb to say that considering most of these managers are being told what to do, but it's neither here nor there.
I think it's less than what we think. It seems like all the other 29 teams in baseball are able to think freely, except for one in particular team.
No, well, I think that there's a lot of teams that don't do that because we had Roman on last week, and we were talking about what Kevin Cash was doing, especially when it comes down to when they had Blake Snell. He's like, no, they was told it's pretty much Blake Snell was five inning guy or 5 innings, and then you get him out of there. And Kevin Cash had the book, boom, he followed it to a T, and that's that. So Kevin Cash doesn't feel like he's one of those guys that goes off the script either. And there's a lot of these managers that are out there like that. I'm sure your beloved Rocco Baldelli up in Minnesota wasn't going far off the script. He was told by the GM and the nerds that this is what we're going to have to do. You get some leeway, but for the most part, this is the game plan.
I don't see Baldelli going along with it. He's too smart of a baseball guy to agree with that. Plus, he worked in the front office for the Rays for a while before he went down the field, became their first base coach. So I don't see him going along with that nonsense.
That's what the Rays were doing. So I can see him. That's why I can see him going along with that nonsense because it was ingrained with him to follow that game plan. But we're now diving off the rails there.
We always do this though.
Yeah, we do.
This is no different for us.
But you know what? We're flipping this backwards here. We talked about Bellinger, and like we were talking about in the beginning, I thought that at the beginning of this week there was a lot more deal. There was some action that was going to happen with the Yankees. I thought Cabrera was going to come. Cabrera at best at his best is a number 3 pitcher. He's got a live arm. I like this stuff. But he is very injury prone. Pitched over 100 innings once in his career, which is last year. And last year, guess what? He ended the season with a UCL sprain. So there's a lot. You're playing with, the Cubs got him for Owen Cassis. Hopefully I'm saying his name right, Casillas or Cassis, and then Christian.
I think it's Cassie.
Cassie.
Yeah. The way it's spelled.
And then you have a Christian Hernandez. Was the number 15 prospect for the Marlins, and then for not the Marlins for the Cubs. But those were the 2 big names that are going down to the Marlins. Marlins wanted a very position player heavy deal, which for Yankee fans, that's not something we could have put together. Spencer Jones. Maybe the names out there were Dylan Lewis and Ben Hess, but we have enough pitching that we could make these deals. But the Marlins have plenty of pitching as well, so it wasn't a good lineup to make this kind of deal. But hats off to the Cubs. They need what they believe is a frontline starter, because they're trying to make their moves. Now they gotta swing it and get themselves a bat or a couple of bats along the way and see how it plays out for them. But
yeah,
everyone, there's a lot of people that were talking out there. Oh, we needed Cabrera. Man, I like Cabrera, but the Marlins have a lot more pitching, and they had a lot better pitching that's out there. Namely Sandy Alcantara, who's got a 1+1 basically. He's got his deal this year, and then he's got a club option for next year. And then, of course, you got another big, tall righty waiting in the wings as well, in Yuri Perez, who is dominant and is Sandy's literally his Sandy Alcantara's little brother. Like all the reports coming out of Miami is that Yuri Perez will follow Sandy everywhere. He mimics Sandy. He'll take Sandy's glove and go pitching with Sandy's glove in games instead of his own glove. So those are the two guys that you should be looking at instead of Edward Cabrera, because they're both. Well, Sandy had Tommy John surgery, but looks like he's on the rebound from it. So I could see Sandy being dealt actually this trade deadline.
He'll get moved.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna. But for him, it's got to be along the wall. He's got to show that he's got value, because the minute he shows value, he's gonna be traded.
I think he moves before June.
Like I said,
I think by Memorial Day you'll see him moved. If the Marlins are tanking, if they're having any kind of success, I think they might hold on to him until the trade deadline.
I think that if it comes down to the fact that if his value comes back, that teams will be calling at that. We'll be calling still. The Marlins will just start picking up the phone and go, okay, we can do this. Marlins have begun to build for the future, and they're getting hitters. They're getting some power bats, which is what they need down that ballpark. They have pitching coming through the system as well. They're kind of getting their perfect storm lined up, and that they could be a problem for the NL East in a few years. Like the Nationals are a lot closer to being a problem for the NL East, because they got some young studs, and they got some more coming through. They just need pitching. The Marlins are they're building up their set to come up and really give everyone a run for their money, because the window's closing for Philadelphia. Who the hell knows what the Mets are thinking, because they're getting rid of players as opposed to keeping players. And you always got the Braves, and the Braves are can go any which way in directions. So
now that we've been talking about Alcantara, I kind of have this wild, I don't know, thought in my head, and kind of like, maybe we did this because of this. So Yankees re-signed Grisham for $22.5 million. They're banking on him having a repeat beginning of the season. No, hear me out. Let me finish.
Oh no, I'm laughing at the fact that they're banking on him having a repeat.
Why else would they offer him $22.5 million? I mean, they got to be banking on something. That
was the qualifying offer. That's why.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is, if they didn't think he wasn't capable of doing it, I don't think they offer him the QO. But say he tears up April, May, June, right? They can trade him June 15th, right? Because of the QO.
Yep.
Who's to say Grisham doesn't go down to Miami in a package for Alcantara? So you bring up they need power bats for that ballpark. They bring in another veteran to help guide these kids. They already brought in Pete Fairbanks. I know it sounds bananas and crazy, but is it really out of the realm of possibility? I don't think so.
I don't see the Yankees doing it.
I'm just saying it could happen. I'm saying this is very far-fetched, but this is the only thing that makes sense out of the whole damn thing, is what I'm saying.
You know when something like a move like that will happen, and knock on wood that this does not happen, is that the elbow injury to Aaron Judge that he sustained last year comes in and bites them in the ass this year, and all of a sudden now Aaron Judge is down for the count, and then they turn around and go, okay, now we're going to get rid of players. That's when I think.
I mean, not if we re-sign Bellinger. I mean, you re-sign Bellinger, that problem kind of takes care of itself. And then you got J-Dom. And then if Spencer Jones can fix his strikeout issues in the minor leagues, who's to say they don't call him up?
Okay, so that's
I know there's a lot of what ifs, but
not even just what ifs, but you're having 4 outfielders for three position spots.
you just rotate them around.
We saw how good that did last year.
Well, I mean, it's better than doing nothing.
My thing is like this: it's that you saw how dumb these rotations were last year. Like whoever's bright idea the Yankees in the Yankees system,
The nerds.
Yeah, those idiots put a rotation out there. It didn't matter that you could have a kid. You could have Jason going 3 for 4 with 2 home runs, and then guess what? Because it's the rotation, he's got to sit the next day. Doesn't matter.
Stupid.
He's going to sit. Cody Bellinger could have been like 0 for 15, but you know what? He's playing the next day, no matter what. It does not make sense what they were doing, but I digress. There's a lot. The Yankees have a lot more issues than just in their personnel department than just the nerds. But speaking of personnel, one of the things we've talked about before is the lack of adequate shortstop that the Yankees have. And reports are out there that the Yankees have been kicking the tires with Bo Bichette. I've been one. I know there's a lot of people out there who've been talking about this, who've been out there saying that the Yankees really should look at Bo Bichette, should sign Bo Bichette. I've been on that bandwagon for a bit too because Bo Bichette can transition to second base and is saying he is willing to transition to second base as well. They can turn around, sign him this year, give him an X amount of year contract, 5-year contract, whatever. Shortstop this year, move over to second base next year. Does not hurt anything. Tell Anthony Volpe, stay in the you have options, stay in the minor leagues. Guess what? Fix everything down there. Earn your spot back up here in the following season.
Again, you would need our organization to execute common sense.
Yes.
And that's in short supply.
Well, that's why I'm here to kind of help them along the line.
Because I'm sure Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner listen to this podcast. Sure.
Well, they should, because they'll actually.
If they did, we'd probably be getting sued. With all the crap we've been talking over the last 4 years.
I don't think sued. I definitely think we wouldn't be allowed to in any
Yeah, we'd be banned from George Steinbrenner Field and Yankee Stadium for life.
God. I think our pictures would be up with a whole lot of other people. Pictures up there, do not enter.
Just for exercising freedom of speech.
No.
Wouldn't that be a joke?
Yeah. But like I said, the reports are out there. The Yankees are circling back to him. I think that's the way to put.
Jeremy says they should. We bring great ideas. Yes, Jeremy. we do agree, boss. We do agree.
Been saying this for a while.
The president of the network has spoken.
Well, yeah, no, on the real though, the Yankees are kicking the tires with Bo Bichette. I think that's one of the ploys to kind of start pushing Bellinger into. Listen, we're not waiting. We're not waiting. The big quotations. We're not waiting on you, even though they are waiting on them. They're not waiting on them. It's just what they're trying to show is that we can just move. We can move a different direction here and get Bo Bichette, and the money that we're going to offer to you, we're going to offer to Bo Bichette, because it seems like it's a one or the other. Pardon me, type of thing, where it's you get Bellinger or you get Bo Bichette. And rumors out there also is that Phillies are now the front runner for Bo Bichette. He's got to have a house in Dunedin, Clearwater area, Florida. I mean, the Clearwater field from where the Phillies play is like 10 minutes away from where Dunedin is. 10 minutes away from the Dunedin field for spring training. I've been to both of those places. They're literally, for all intents and purposes, spitting distance away from each other.
Literally.
So, I mean, I can see that. I can see all that happening. Obviously, Don Mattingly going to being the bench coach for the Philadelphia Phillies. He has a great rapport with Bo Bichette, so it's kind of beginning to see where the crumbs are going, so that he might make his way over in that direction. I still think Bo Bichette is something that the Yankees should really look at getting, just because of the versatility, because of the fact that he's the bat that they don't have. He can hit the high velocity fastballs. He can hit for average. He can hit some power. He's a 300 hitter. His defense isn't that great. Yeah, but if you're hitting over 300, you're gonna live with a bad defense. And guess what? After a year, you can move him over to second base, and his defense will probably improve there. Or you stick him at shortstop and move somebody else over to second base. If you want to keep an Anthony Volpe, move him over to second base, because guess what? You got another player that doesn't belong at shortstop playing in the shortstop position. So there's too many positions there that they are filled with their incorrect people. But I digress on that one as well. What do you think about Bo Bichette possibly usurping Cody Bellinger on the Yankee roster? And mind you, Bo Bichette being right-handed solves the big problem that Brian Cashman keeps saying, is that that the Yankees are too left-handed. Too left-handed. Well, Brian Cashman created that problem by having too many left-handed bats. Now you can right the wrong with a right-handed bat.
I don't know what happened. I think we had a technical issue.
Oh, you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, I don't know what the hell happened with my Wi-Fi, but
no worries. No.
I
was trying to throw it over. It's all right. I was trying to throw it over to you. Your thoughts on Bo Bichette?
I'm gonna tell you, but keep talking. I'm working on pulling something up right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, with the addition of getting a Bo Bichette, Yankees have also been fielding. I don't know why, but they're fielding calls on Jazz Chislom, possibly trading him, which kind of doesn't go along the line, which doesn't go down the road of what a Brian Cashman deal usually is. What Brian Cashman trades for somebody that he really wants, he does not get rid of that person. It took him, how long? He wanted Joey Gallo. He got Joey Gallo, and then when it was obviously didn't fit, it still took him a while.
Why do we always find a way to bring this dude up all the time?
Well, usually it was Josh Donaldson, but Joey Gallo wasn't going to go down the road of shocking him, killing him in along the ways. But it was just the point of Brian Cashman got him, and when it was obviously was not the fit, he still did not pull the plug too soon. He eventually did, but it took him a while. And this is where I'm saying, like a Jazz Chislom thing, like it doesn't feel like Brian Cashman's going to make the deal to send Jazz Chislom somewhere else, unless you get blown away with the return.
It would have to be
two top
tier prospects and a major league ready prospect for it to happen. I think.
I don't even think a major league ready prospect. I think two top tier prospects gets the job done, and being two position players to get the job done. So
you were asking me about my thoughts. So I did a little compare and contrast. So this is Volpe versus Bichette. So you're welcome. I'm going to scratch this itch for you so that you can chill the hell out with this. The only thing that Volpe has over Bichette in his short time in the major leagues is 10 more stolen bases. Bichette's WAR 21, 748 games played. The Volpe's 472. 904 hits to Volpe's glaring 382. 111 home runs for Bo versus Volpe's 52, and 437 RBIs versus Volpe's 192 career RBIs. And Bo's bad at slashing 294, 337, 469, 806 with a 121 OPS plus, while Volpe is slashing 222, 283, 379, 662, and an OPS plus of 84. So, okay, fine. I see your point. My concern is not with Bichette's offense. The dude can mash, okay? He takes after his father. I am not shocked in any way, shape, or form. My concern, and this seems to always be our luck when we get high-end players, they come here and they get hurt and they're on the shelf forever. Case in point, Giancarlo Stanton. Okay? That's what's got me concerned about giving Bo Bichette this amount of money and worrying about whether or not his body is going to hold up, especially with the brilliance of the New York Yankees medical staff.
But don't you think not having to play 82 games a season on the turf that's up in Toronto is going to help him out?
It can either help or it can hurt. I mean, it all depends. I mean, look.
I don't think it's going to hurt. I don't think it's going to hurt.
Hold on. Look at Giancarlo. right?
Mhm.
Plays on regular grass, and the dude still finds a way to get hurt with soft tissue injuries. I get it. He's a lot older than Bo. Point taken.
Well, the
But I'm
Yankees
just saying,
screwed
I
up
don't
during
think
COVID.
it plays as much of a role as people think. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I've never played on turf. I've never played professional baseball. I have no idea.
Well, look at it this way, right? What was it? Like a couple of years ago or something like that? The Yankees had to not micromanage. Micromanage is a bad word, but they had to severely manage when Aaron Judge was playing down in Tampa in the crappy Trop that's down there, and on the crappy AstroTurf that's there. Then when they go to Toronto, they make sure that at least one of those games that he's playing up there, he is playing DH. So you're telling when Aaron Judge plays in Boston, it's on grass. He's not playing DH. He's playing right. He's playing all the time. Playing when he goes out to when they play out in LA and all those other stadiums, whether it's regular grass, he's not DHing unless it is a day to DH him.
Or he's running into a fence and breaking his foot.
So yeah, but when you go to Oakland, he's not DHing in Oakland. He's not DHing in Seattle. You know what I'm saying? Like in Detroit, he's not DHing. They got regular grass out there.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is when you got the turf is a different animal. And I'm pretty sure that the turf in Toronto is not like the newer style turf either.
Well, it's definitely not what they used in the Sky Dome, which was carpet over cement.
Yes, I remember, and some rubber balls underneath there.
And Olympic Stadium in Montreal and Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, or whatever the hell they were using at the old Busch Stadium in St. Louis back in the 80s.
Oh yeah, the turf dome. But what I'm saying to you is this: is that the turf does give problems. Like Aaron Judge was having ankle and Achilles issues just playing in the turf down at Tropicana Field. So you think that so my thing is this: injuries. I understand that. I understand what you're saying with Bo, but I think that with Bo, getting off the turf is going to be something that could elongate his career as opposed to shorten his career. There's a possibility that the turf is creating the injuries for him.
And it's not the turf. So I'm looking at his injuries right now, and it's not the turf that's causing these injuries. So this year he had a left knee sprain, which was because he collided with the catcher at the plate. Prior to that was in 2024, he had a right calf strain, experienced multiple instances, including a stint from mid-June to late June, another from late July to early September. And then before that was a right knee sprain in 2020, missed 27 games with a sprain in the same knee area as his later tendonitis issue. So I thought it was a lot more severe than what it was, but apparently I'm wrong. But I don't know. It just seems like anytime we got a good player, they come here and it's like someone steps on a voodoo doll and the gates of hell open and this dude is MIA for 4 months.
Well, that's because they get the wrong guys in there. That's why.
I don't know.
Except Juan Soto. Didn't he play like 162 games or 100?
Yeah, he did. I think like 158 or something. Yeah. He's a freak.
Close to it. I mean, I know he did injure his hand. He took like a couple of days off, but it wasn't more than that.
Yeah, he like spit on and rubbed some dirt, and it was back the next day.
Which is why he got $750 some odd million, and when he opts out, and the Mets will say no, you're not going to opt out. We're going to keep you, and he'll get that contract will go up to $800 million or even more so. Especially with all the other things, the escalators and all the other perks he gets in there. So.
Yeah, he's stuck there, man. He ain't getting out of it.
He's gonna be in Queens
trying to deal with the devil. That's what you get.
Yeah, that's right. That is correct. But yeah, no. So we're talking about. Well, let me ask you this: say, for instance, everything falls apart with Cody. They sign Bo Bichette for some crazy reason. What would you want to do with like a Jazz Chislom? Because for some reason. Yankees would be this stupid. They'll go, okay, well, Bo Bichette, we're going to move him to second base, which I'm fine with that. But just to make sure that we have a pathway for numbnuts Anthony Volpe to come back, and will be given a position, given his job back instead of having to earn it back. Would you rather than trade a McMahon or a Jazz Chislom?
trading McMahon's an issue because of the amount of money that he's owed. No one's going to pay him $16 million. The Yankees are going to have to eat that anyway. And I don't know. I don't know if anyone would want him because of the lack of offense. And if they do sign Bo, I feel like they're going to be desperate to trade Jazz, and they'll just trade him to whoever for whatever just to get rid of him, which would be a horrible move, in my opinion.
So you think no matter what happens, Bo Bichette comes, he's going to be supplanting Jazz Chislom at second base?
Well, yeah, I mean, look,
I'm being on the level here.
Yeah, no, I'm being realistic too. I mean, if you sign this kid for 5 years at 180, just throwing a random figure out there, you're not going to have him platoon with a guy that's making $5 million.
Oh, I'm not even saying have him platoon. I'm sitting there going, give him short. If he hits the way he hits, and like the numbers you put up there, he career average of 294. Batting OPS of over 800. We lived with horrible defense last year at shortstop. Lived with all that. You can live with it another season if you're going to get the offensive production that he provides. Then you turn around and you give him that for the year. You can give Jazz his walking papers, and then you could slide Bo Bichette over to second base.
The only way I don't see it happening is if Bo comes here, blows the doors off this place, both on the defensive and offensive side of the ball, and the Yankees are going to have no choice but to leave him at shortstop, and Anthony Volpe's time here is finished.
Well, I think
again, I'm using common sense, but I'm saying it is going to have to be something otherworldly to get the Yankees front office off this Anthony Volpe is the second coming of Derek Jeter kick that they've been on since they drafted him.
I will say this. I think Brian Cashman's the only one who's understood that the shine's come off the kid. Everybody else, if you think about it, they're all still so high on him that he can't do anything wrong. Brian Cashman, I think, is the only one who's kind of been out there saying a little, just taking the shine off him just a little bit. Like, yeah, he's got to work harder. Yeah, he's not the offensive guy we've seen. Oh, he was injured, but he's even with the injuries, he still is not. His arm's still not good enough for shortstop. I think that's what's going on. But then okay, well, we can move off of him, and then boom, we're gonna wait, make sure that he'll be there until we can replace him with George Lombard Jr. and then push forward from there.
They've definitely created a mess with the narrative, the storyline, the everything, and it's a mess. It's an absolute mess.
Well, if they didn't put the business in front of the baseball, because that's all it was putting the business in front of baseball with Anthony Volpe. Oh, he took the picture with Derek Jeter, and they made sure that they promoted the piss out of that thing.
I mean, so didn't Todd Frazier with at the Little League World Series, but yeah. I mean, you didn't see them parading him around like he was God.
Oh, because Todd Frazier wasn't a homegrown Yankee. That's the difference.
So, I mean, I get it. It's not the same thing, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like they're just using this kid as a marketing tool to sell tickets, and it's just bad.
Haven't I been saying that for 3 years?
It's a bad baseball decision.
I said that since they brought him up. I've been saying that for how long? Man, the first season I kept on saying, like, yo, it was a business decision. I feel like it was a business decision that the baseball business won out over the baseball operations. Because if any smart baseball upper management would have watched this, he would not have stayed in the major leagues. Not meaning along the way, like you'd have done what most organizations do, is that if he's struggling, you send him down to get right. They didn't.
Mets did it with Francisco Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example. Different position, but same example.
Jordan Walker got sent up and down. You know what I mean? Like, but it's there's guys that have gone up and come back. They've gone back down and come back up again.
I mean, hell, you want to take it back even further? Look at what the Mariners did with A-Rod. They sent him back to Tacoma to eat some humble pie.
Yes. It's done
because he was treated almost the same way Volpe was being treated. Like, God's gift to the universe. Hell of a player. And then he fell out the wagon and down to Tacoma he went.
Then came back up and still won Rookie of the Year.
Yep. So, I mean, they can do it. They're just not doing it for whatever reason. And it's costing the team wins. Which is kind of what you need to win a division. It's kind of what you need to win the postseason. So figure it out. I mean, as of tomorrow, we sit at literally a month before pitchers and catchers report. They report between the 9th and the 14th of February. And we're still here arguing over who should be the shortstop and who shouldn't be.
I think that's
it's nuts. It's absolutely, and still haven't signed anybody of any kind of significance. Like this episode's titled "Wake the Blank Up."
Well, like I said,
stop sleeping on sidewalks. Stop scaling skyscrapers and do your job. Like, I don't know what the hell they're doing at the think tank in Tampa, but it definitely ain't thinking.
It's not about not thinking. It's I've always said this, that Brian Cashman gets his marching orders from Hal. Hal is not one to make rash decisions or to make bold decisions, to be honest with you. I truly believe that Brian Cashman has done needs to revamp this lineup to begin with. But off-season wise stuff, Hal's the one dragging feet. Brian Cashman can turn around and do all the negotiating he wants to do. He can talk to Scott Boras about everything. Could get Cody Bellinger 6 years, 200, right? Just throw that number out there. Hal doesn't want to do that. Hal's not going there. Scott Boras could literally be saying, give us 6 at 195.
Yep.
And Hal could be sitting there going, no, 5 years, 180, we're going to do. We'll do that for 5 years, 175. Nothing more than that. Not even an option for a 6th. Okay, well, we're going to shop around for the 6th year. You go shop around for the 6th year and come back to us. Get a 6th year? Okay, well, we're going to do 6 years at 180. Something stupid like that. And it's going to be the AAVs coming down because that's a Yankee specialty too. Is that we'll tack on an extra year, but we're going to do it so that the average annual the AAV comes down, so that the luxury tax implications go down. Hal is the one running the show on this one, and he runs it by the spreadsheet and the calculator. And as you can see with all the other with the major signings really this year.
Well, I can do you one better. So
it's not really been major signings. About dollar-wise, dollar-wise, it's not been there. Even the Japanese players aren't getting crazy money.
No. So let's just run down the list, right? So I got it pulled up here. So in totality, this is who the Yankees have acquired this offseason. Trent Grisham, $22.5 million. Ryan Yarbrough, 1 year, $2.5 million. Ahmed Rosario, 1 year, $2.25 million. Paul Blackburn, 1 year, $2 million. Tim Hill, option exercise club option for $3 million. Oswaldo Cabrera, Clark Schmidt, 1 year deals to avoid arbitration, valued at $1.2 and $4.5 million respectively. Jazz, Bednar, Doval also avoided arbitration with 1 year deals. Paul DeYoung, minor league deal, invite the spring training. Adam Kloffenstein, right-handed pitcher, signed to a minor league deal, invite the spring training. Peyton Henry, Ali Sanchez, both catchers signed minor league contracts. Zach Short, infielder, signed minor league contract. Yuri Rodriguez, right-handed reliever, signed a minor league deal. And the most notable, the Mexican League MVP, Nick Torres.
All right.
Wow. I'm blown away. World Series, guys. Here we go. Woo!
Okay, so let's
Jesus Christ.
Let's think this thing out for a second here. Because I did listen to John Heyman, and I did listen to Joel Sherman talk about this, and with Michael Kay, and they kind of put a little bit of cold water on this whole notion that they're not doing anything. It seems like Brian Cashman did a whole lot of the heavy lifting last July.
Well, yeah, I'll agree with that.
So
they're still paying DJ LeMahieu $15 million this year.
Yeah, well, that's because they couldn't get rid of him the other year because Aaron Judge needed to keep him around for a year earlier. They couldn't trade him or do anything like that. Way to go, co-GM on this.
He was hurt. And he had the foot stuff.
No, when he came back, when he actually
it was the hip. It was the hip first, then the foot.
When he came back, he was actually hitting for like a 2 week span before he went down the tank again. And they were gonna do something. They were gonna get rid of him, and then Aaron Judge was the first one. No, we need to keep him. So, co-GM Aaron Judge, great job. Maybe just stick to the on the field stuff. Don't worry about what the front office has to do. You haven't really helped out. Make sure Anthony Volpe's there every day. Good job on this one. Alex Verdugo, he's a guy we needed for such a long time. Great job there.
I mean, we were kind of all excited when that trade. I mean, we were live on air when that happened, and we were kind of excited because we thought we were getting the Boston Red Sox version that was a pain in our ass for how many years. So,
I also think because we also didn't know if we were going to get, it was a upgrade over what we had, and we didn't know Juan Soto. And we didn't know Juan Soto was like a couple days later.
The only guy I was really upset, two guys I was upset with that we traded was Greg Weissert had a lot of problems. He had a frisbee of a slider, and then I was kind of hoping to see Ricky Fitz in New York, just because we all have Ricky Fitz in New York lately these days, for lack of a better nickname, because I don't want Jeremy to yell at us. But those of you that are watching or will be listening this tomorrow, you know where I'm going with this. I don't know at all. Mark's comments last week of a limp arm for a better term.
I ain't lying. I ain't lying. So. I did call a limp arm. I actually used did I use the 5-letter word instead of the?
You actually used the correct terminology, but then Rome was the one that took it a step further and just kind of walked across the line. And I was just like, oh my God, I was like watching it live. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, Jeremy's going to go to the ceiling.
He was right there.
Oh, I know. It's kind of funny. I was like, I don't even have to be there for some nonsense to get said. You guys are doing it for me. You guys are making me look like an angel.
No. I was walking. I made sure I knew where to walk on that one, man.
If you guys really want to see some shenanigans, go back and listen to episode 35 3 years ago. And you'll see how really wild it can get around here.
Yeah, it's gotten bad at a couple times. But no, I think that about does it. I mean, there's nothing really.
There's not really much more we can sit here and bitch about.
No. It's not even bitching.
There's doing it all off season and kind of getting sick and tired of doing it.
I mean, there is more to talk about. I mean, definitely next episode we can go a different direction with the stupidity of what the Yankees have been doing. But
to get off the stupidity train, there was a little bit of action today in the free agent realm across the rest of MLB. The Atlanta Braves designated Vidal Brujan for assignment. Pirates signed Ryan O'Hearn. The Rockies signed free agent second base minor leaguer Jack O'Dowd. I wonder if he's related to Dan O'Dowd, the former GM there. The White Sox designated third baseman Ben Cowles for assignment. The Atlanta Braves claimed one of my old favorite prospects from the Athletics, Ken Waldichuk.
Kenny Waldichuk could not do anything.
I mean, that was a bad trade. I'm sorry. Like really, come on.
Wait, what do you mean it was a bad trade?
I didn't like the trade. I just didn't.
It did nothing. It was a nothing trade. Honest to God, that was a nothing trade.
Who the hell did we get? I forget.
Montas.
Oh yeah. Okay, it was a bad trade.
It was a bad trade all around because they're not.
But at the time when they made the trade, when they traded,
Waldichuk wasn't doing anything. He was middling in the minor leagues, and he wasn't.
He was in Double-A with Otto, and both of them were dominating in Double-A. That was where I had the issue with it, because I felt like they didn't hold on to them long enough to see what they would become and move them up to Triple. Well, they moved Waldichuk up to Triple-A, and he took a shit on the mound, and then Otto to Texas for our favorite Yankee, Joey Gallo. So that's neither here nor there. But the White Sox.
Don't forget we had what's his name too? Wisniewski went to was traded.
That one I was a little upset about too. They traded him to Chicago for Who was it?
You was cursing today, man.
Did a deal with the Cubs for.
Was it Rizzo? Was he part of the Rizzo deal?
Yeah, he was part of the Rizzo trade.
I think it was Rizzo because it was Rizzo
and Kevin
Alcantara. Kevin Alcantara.
So, and then the White Sox claimed catcher Drew Romo off waivers from the Mets, and the Mets sent who the Pirates were really high on him, Jinwan Bay, outright to Syracuse, Mets. So that's what's happening around the league.
So it's not just a Yankee thing. It's a league-wide issue right now. Because if you think about it, Dodgers aren't really heavy on many players right now. If you kind of they made their one splash with Edwin Diaz. They needed a closer. They turned around. They offered him a certain amount of money. Edwin Diaz like, cool, I'm going. Didn't even turn around and give the Mets a courtesy call like, match it and I'm staying. He's like, nah, I'm out. I don't want to be here.
Well, the Dodgers also have a lot of guys coming back off injury too. I mean, they literally had an entire 2 teams worth of pitchers on the IL.
Yeah, but I do think like at some point they're going to see them start trading off some of these guys. Like I could see what's his name? Not Snell, the other one, the one who looks like the Peaky Blinders. Long hair, literally looks like Cillian Murphy from Peaky Blinders.
Ed Sheehan?
No, Ed Sheehan. What are you talking about? No. Glasnow, Tyler Glasnow. I can see them trading Tyler Glasnow within the year.
Let's see, free agents. Who did they?
Who are you talking about now? Free agents.
Well, the only free agents they have for the Dodgers are.
I'm saying trade. I'm saying trade. I'm not saying.
No. I'm just curious as to who they.
Well, Conforto, they had.
Conforto, Evan Phillips, Michael Kopech. And Austin Barnes. And they relinquished Kirby Yates. He signed with the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they re-signed Miguel Rojas, who I thought might have retired.
No, go for the trifecta and then he can retire.
I thought he would have retired. Go out on a high note. You're not guaranteed a World Series next year.
The NL?
He's old. He's 2 years younger than me, a year younger than me. He's not old, but by baseball standards anyway.
Yeah, but if you're coming in playing 50, if you're playing like 50 games and you're just a spot starter and getting a couple of at bats here and there, gets like 100, 150 at bats a year, yeah, why not?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind adding Kopech. It'd be a nice bullpen piece.
He's got a live arm.
I mean, his projected market value is $5.2 million. I mean, get a high quality arm for not a lot of money.
Well, that should be up Hal's alley right there. Not a lot of money being spent.
Yeah. But I don't know if I'd want Glasnow, though, because I don't know how that arm's going to hold up.
He's had what? At least hasn't he had 2 Tommy John surgeries?
2 and then a shoulder issue. So, yeah. But anyway, that's going to do it for us. Thank you all for coming along this wild and crazy ride with us as we get restarted this year for the upcoming, what looks like right now is going to be a live funeral starting in February. Hopefully not, but in any event, we'll be back next week, hopefully with some more positive stuff to talk about. If not, we'll figure it out as we go, as we always do. So see you guys next week.
Peace out.